Rounds of snow working across central and eastern Kentucky, and it could add up before all is said and done. We'll talk totals in a moment.
It didn't take long for big flakes to put down a coating of snow in central Kentucky earlier today. How road crews are preparing for tonight. And the hours are ticking down in New Hampshire until the first primary of the 2016 presidential race. We'll hear from the candidates as they make a last-minute push for votes.
WKYT News starts now with First Alert Weather.
Welcome to WKYT News at 4. I'm Amber Philpott. Jennifer is off today. Winter weather is quickly returning to central and eastern Kentucky. It is just the beginning of what looks like could be a long week with snow. This is a live look now at downtown Lexington, where it is clear for now, but we have already seen some light snow today, and it is expected to intensify tonight. Let's check in now with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey on this First Alert Severe Weather Day. Hi, Chris.
Hi, Amber. At one point today, some of the biggest snowflakes you will ever see around here were flying across most of the area. You had those, what I like to call concussion flakes. You step outside, boy, those hit you coming down at $half size at times. We'll see more of those coming up here in a few hours. We're firing up our winter weather cams. We've got you covered no matter which part of the state you are in, and we're watching snows now beginning to develop around the Louisville area and E-Town and working their way quickly toward the east. So those cams will light up as we go through the next few hours. Winter weather advisory, all of central and eastern Kentucky through Tuesday night into early Wednesday. Look at the big burst of snow now across the I-65 corridor, and that is working quickly toward the east. This morning's snowmaker is now off into parts of southeastern Kentucky and West Virginia. Bluegrass region picking up on some of those snow showers and squalls that are coming back into town. At times, they're going to reduce visibility way down there. Temperatures are dropping quickly behind this initial batch of snow that is on top of the Interstate 65 corridor. We have more snow bands working in from parts of Illinois all the way up into the western part of the Great Lakes. Whatever you see up there will wind up down here with that strong northwesterly wind flow as we go through later tonight. Now, temperatures across the entire central and eastern parts of the Bluegrass state are above freezing, though. Look at Fort Knox. We're down to 32. We're down to 30 in Owensboro. It's going to be a quick drop in temperatures out there this evening as many of us drop into the upper 20s by 9, 10 o'clock or so with some heavy bands of snow that will set up. Slick roads a good bet, and we've got bitterly cold temperatures on the move into the middle of the week. Amber, when I come back in 15 minutes, we're going to have a new call for snowfall on this long drawn out snow event across the area.
All right, we'll see you then, Chris. Thank you. We'll have more on the weather in just a minute. But right now, we turn to some breaking news right here in Lexington. A large fire has heavily damaged a Lexington storage facility. The fire started just after 2 this afternoon at Econo Self Storage on James Court near the corner of Winchester Road and New Circle. Firefighters tell us there is one burn victim. Our Victor Puente is live on the scene with the breaking details. Victor?
Well, the fire is now under control. You can see those crews behind me. They've been pulling back their lines. A woman who lives next to the storage unit says a man was working on a motor when the fire started. It started about 2 hours ago. The woman who lives next to the Econo self-storage says a man working on a motor had asked to borrow an extension cord. She says shortly after that, the building was on fire and he was at her door asking for help. Firefighters say he was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The heavy smoke spread across New Circle Road. At one point, they closed an on-ramp from Winchester Road onto New Circle Road. Firefighters also say it's possible there was small arms ammunition in one of those units that began to go off. Witnesses said they heard several booms. Now, 3 separate buildings were damaged, including a partial collapse on one building, but at this point the fire is contained. That witness said the man asking for help had obviously been burned.
He asked to call 911. He was desperate and in pain. He was like his face was all burned and his hands were all burned.
That ramp on the New Circle reopened, but James Court is still closed while firefighters continue their cleanup. Fire investigators are still down there continuing their investigation, trying to figure out what caused this fire. Live in Lexington, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Victor, thank you. People working in a neighboring business told us they were asked to leave when fire crews first arrived, but they have since been allowed back. A quick burst of snow hit central Kentucky this morning, but it is almost all gone now. That snow came down very quickly in Boyle County, but it didn't cause many problems. WKYT's Phil Pendleton has more from Danville. It's our top story at 4.
The snow is melting almost as quickly as it came down this morning. It began with a cold rain, quickly turning over to snow and resulting in some very large snowflakes falling from the sky. Large flakes came down in downtown Danville in a quickly moving system that actually began with sunny skies early this morning. It changed over to cold rain and then some sleet and finally snow, and a lot of it. It didn't take long to cover the grass and then the roads. Driving through Danville, it looked like roads would soon turn very treacherous, but that simply didn't happen. The snow began melting as the temperatures never got very cold and never got cold enough for the snow to stick around. Some people say that it arrived so quickly that when they went in to shop, it wasn't doing anything. When they came out, it was snowing very hard.
I think it's a mess. He wasn't doing this when I went in the store. But I drive slow. If I have to, I put it in four-wheel drive.
With the snow melting very quickly, there was not a lot of work for road crews to do, but I did notice a number of salt trucks out salting the roadways this morning. In Boyle County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
And the good news, there were no serious crashes in Boyle County as a result of that winter weather. Well, here in Lexington, huge flakes were falling around noon. The snow quickly left a coating on the ground, but most roads were just wet. The snow was heavier in the south end of town. We have a live update on the conditions in Lexington coming up for you on WKYT News at 5. The snow also came down at a pretty good clip in Madison County, covering areas near the road department. Earlier today, there were reports of several cars sliding off Interstate 75 just north of Richmond. We'll have an update on conditions there also coming up on WKYT News at 5. We are working on a number of other stories for you on WKYT starting at 4:30. Sam Dick joins us now from the newsroom with a look at some of the news in progress. Hi, Sam.
Good afternoon, Amber. Lexington police are trying to figure out if two overnight robberies and a burglary are connected. In the first incident, someone broke into the Speedway on North Broadway just after 3 o'clock this morning. Then about an hour later, someone held up the Thorntons on Versailles Road. 10 minutes later, the White Castle on New Circle Road at Bryan Station was held up. Police say there is surveillance video of all three crimes. We'll have more on the burglaries on WKYT News coming up at 5 o'clock. Crews have started cleaning up a little more than a week after a massive fire at the Bluegrass Stockyards. The 3-alarm fire left 10 acres of rubble. Cleanup will take a week or two depending on the weather. Meanwhile, stockyard officials are considering their rebuilding options. The business has been in Lexington since the 1940s, but rebuilding here could be more complicated and expensive.
Certainly, we have a strong desire to be in this community, a part of the business community and the culture that's been a part of this community for years. But again, I mean, we owe it to everybody to take time and look at all the options.
The Stockyards chief operating officer says he thinks they will have a rebuilding plan within 30 days. We'll have more on the cleanup ahead on WKYT News at 4:30. And Kentucky is beginning to see an increase in the number of flu cases. According to the state, there have been 61 confirmed cases of the flu so far this season. It means Kentucky is now classified as having regional flu activity. The Lexington and Fayette County Health Department says Lexington has had 12 confirmed cases. We'll have more on the flu's rise in the Bluegrass ahead on WKYT News at 6 o'clock. That's a quick look at some of the news in progress. Amber, back to you.
Sam, thank you. Now to some stories making headlines across the nation at 4. Tomorrow, New Hampshire's unpredictable voters will cast their ballots in the first primary of the 2016 presidential race. Scott McLean has the latest from Manchester, New Hampshire.
For Republican presidential hopefuls, it's a race for second place. The latest polls show Donald Trump with a commanding lead. For the rest of the pack, it could be do or die. Rubio, Cruz, Kasich, and Bush all battling for second, and the 30% of GOP voters who are still undecided.
We're blessed to have a very talented field. It's just made it for a very messy and competitive process in the short term.
We do have a couple of pretty good people running. I won't name them because I don't want to tell them, now.
Fact is that you need to have some experience in doing this, because it's nothing like the United States Senate. The crises come in when you least expect it.
On the Democratic side, CNN's poll of polls puts Bernie Sanders 14 points ahead of Hillary Clinton. But she's not ready to concede the state she won in the 2008 race.
I know I've got an uphill climb. I'm asking people to really consider this a job interview. Who's ready to do the job on day one? Who can be president and commander-in-chief?
Her husband, former President Bill Clinton, went on the offensive, attacking Bernie Sanders' record, his health care plan, and accusing some of his supporters of being sexist.
People who have gone online to defend Hillary and just explain why they supported her, have been subject to vicious trolling.
Anybody who is supporting me is doing sexist things, we don't want them. I don't want them.
In Manchester, New Hampshire, I'm Scott McLean.
Ben Carson is the only candidate with no public events scheduled today. A down day across the board on Wall Street. The Dow down nearly 178 points, the Nasdaq down nearly 80 points, and the S&P 500 was down 26 points. Well, if you tried to get lunch at Chipotle today, you may have noticed the chain closed every store in the U.S. for several hours for a food safety meeting. The move comes after an E. coli outbreak at the restaurant chain last year. Some 500 people got sick. At today's meeting, employees went over an updated food safety program. Topics discussed included chopping tomatoes and lettuce at central kitchens, blanching avocados and onions, and new ways to marinate meat. In Lexington, all Chipotle restaurants were closed until about an hour ago. Chipotle is giving out free burritos. All you have to do is text the word rain check to 888-222. Bridgestone Firestone is recalling more than 36,000 heavy truck tires after reports the tread can separate from the body. The recall covers 22.5-inch Firestone FS 561 tires made from January of 2015 to January of this year. The company says it has no reports of injuries. Well, for the first time, Apple is accepting damaged iPhones as a trade-in from people wanting to upgrade. It will credit $50 for a 5S, $200 for a 6, and $250 for a 6 Plus. Some people watch the Super Bowl for the game, others watch for the commercials, and that's why advertisers paid a record $166,000 a second for airtime. As Brian Webb reports, from cuddly animals to cute children and celebrities, the 30-second spots were fighting for the attention of more than 100 million viewers.
Thank you.
Hey! The first votes are in for this year's best and worst Super Bowl commercials seen by millions around the world. At the top of the list, Hyundai's First Date spot, starring comedian Kevin Hart, voted most popular on USA Today's ad meter. It was followed by a Heinz commercial with wiener dogs galloping toward mustard and ketchup to the tune of a sappy 1970s love song.
I know.
And then an ultrasound baby who can't wait to get its hands on some Doritos. A 30-second Super Bowl spot in 2016 fetched up to $5 million. The average cost of an ad over the last 10 years has increased by 75%.
It's appointment TV, so it's the one time that sort of everybody in America is watching.
Rounding out the top 5 vote-getting spots for Super Bowl 50, the trench coat-wearing Dorito dogs, and Hyundai's commercial starring actor Ryan Reynolds. Analysts say this year, advertising execs played it safe, shying away from the outrageous or controversial. 3, 2. One sentimental commercial that did resonate with viewers and ad experts, the Commander from Audi, featuring a retired astronaut and the song Starman from recently deceased David Bowie. Brian Webb for CBS News.
This year's ad meter results and a 3-year winning streak for Anheuser-Busch, but the beer company did receive some free advertising when Peyton Manning said he would be drinking a few Budweisers after the game. It is time now for better living, health, education, and consumer news that impacts your life. Focusing on knee problems should be a top priority for seniors. That's according to researchers in San Francisco who found knee buckling in older adults cause more falls. They say walking aids, leg strengthening exercises, and proper footwear can all help. A new study suggests smokers who use phone programs to help kick the habit are more successful than people who get help on the internet. Doctors tracked 30-day success rates and found phone counseling worked better than web-based counseling for smokers trying to quit. A new study shows that combat veterans trying to manage chronic pain may find relief through meditation. A new pilot study in Washington, D.C. suggests vets who meditate reported a 20% reduction in pain.